School. We are going to be working on the next 5 handouts, and I'm only going to do a couple sample examples for each of them. But we're going to start off with exercise number 11. It's the first one in the series, and this one is meant to teach you how to use your T-square and your triangles. So very helpful are the images that are off to the left of your handout, and it's showing the actual T-square, but when we're in the classroom, we're going to use our parallel bar. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to line up your parallel bar with one of the already horizontal lines. And then you absolutely must tape down each of the 4 corners to make sure that it doesn't move on you. Okay, this is how we keep lines consistent in directionality and keeping angles consistent. So the next thing you're going to do after you have your paper taped down is you're going to look at the directions and even the image, and it's asking you to draw a nice dark object line at each of these hashed locations. Okay, so this one's pretty easy. And so I'm going to grab my H pencil and I'm going to line up my straight edge, and I'm going to use the actual straight edge as my guide. Okay, now when you're drawing these lines, it should be one single stroke. It shouldn't be a scratching back and forth situation. Those look horrible. So you're going to make sure your lines are nice and neat, and notice that I'm holding the parallel bar still with my left hand, and then I'm dragging my pencil with the right. If you're left-handed, then you hold the parallel bar still with your right hand and you draw with your left. Okay, so the horizontal one is pretty easy. Try your best to line it up with this mark. I have my page way up so I can have my camera over it, but you're going to want to line up each of these. If you make a mistake, use your eraser. Okay, and if you go outside of the box with your lines like that, okay, you have to erase that. You need to go from end to end, stay inside of the box. To make sure you are only erasing the part that you don't want, this is where your eraser shield comes in very handy. You cover up the portion of the drawing that you want to save, and you use your eraser to get rid of the rest. Well, I just did it. I used my hand to wipe instead of my brush. Okay, but now it has nice and clean. So that one's pretty easy. The next thing is it's showing you your 45-degree angled triangle. I'm going to scoot this down a little bit. Okay, so you're going to find that triangle, and it's having you hold it this way. It works very well in that direction for left-handed people, but for right-handed, I just flip it over. It's still a 90-degree angle. Okay, and you're going to line it up. And I want to point out that I'm using part of my palm to hold my parallel bar still and my fingers to hold my triangle in the correct position. And I draw straight up, move, straight up. Okay, so that one's fairly easy. Again, after I'm done with this, I see I have a little bit that's coming out of the box. That's when I finish all my lines, I'll come back with my eraser shield and clean that up. Okay, the bottom 2 exercises have you practice using your 45-degree triangle in 2 different directions. And this one, again, hold your parallel bar still with the palm of your hand and keep your triangle anchored to that flat surface. Just having it here and eyeballing it, yeah, that doesn't work. You have to keep it exactly 45 degrees. This class is about precision, okay, not speed. If you're in it to be first, then you're always going to be last because you're going to have to be redoing a lot of these assignments. Okay, they all should be exactly the same. So you're going to practice all the way through the box, fill the box with all the lines that it asks you to draw. Then you're going to flip this. And for me, when I'm going up and to the right, it's easier for me as a right-handed person. And then when I'm coming down to the right, I usually go in this direction. It's easier for me rather than pushing up. But I want you to try and figure out what is most comfortable for you that you can draw it and remain accurate. So that is the example for activity 11.